Good afternoon, everybody. Did I look slightly mad at the beginning there? Sorry. Tech was not getting along. Hi, everybody. How are you guys feeling today? I want to put it out there immediately that I'm not feeling 100%. I have caught some kind of stomach bug. So I've had a stomach ache for the past couple of days, but I did not want to cancel yet another stream because I'm so busy these days, and I wanted to just sit down for a quiet couple of hours streaming and doing some leveling to exploit the Winds of Sanctuary buff that is currently up. And hello, Ricasso. As always, welcome to the stream. Plenty of liquids and why will money help? You can't eat money. You can't get over your stomach bug with money. But I'm drinking lots of water. I've got some green tea next to me to help soothe my tummy a little bit. I also had some yogurt, so hopefully I will feel okay in half an hour to an hour. Yesterday the stomachache appeared just after I'd finished my morning coffee, and we have a little 10 o'clock snack. And I thought I'd eaten something weird, and I was going through in my head, could it be the bread rolls? No. They were frozen and then they were, put in the oven. They can't really. There's only. I mean, if it was moldy bread, yes, but it wasn't. Then I was thinking, could it have been the butter? Unlikely. What else did I eat? I ate a banana. Bananas can sometimes give you a stomach ache, especially if you are eating them on a completely empty stomach. I wasn't. I couldn't really figure out what it was, and I was wondering, maybe I'm starting to get lactose intolerance, or have some kind of gluten intolerance. I didn't really know. I thought, okay, maybe I'll just stop. I actually thought I was gonna throw up yesterday. It was so bad. I was pacing around the bathroom for almost half an hour. So that was that. Nothing happened, and it sort of it vanished later during that day, and I had some dinner and it was fine. This morning I was fine, and then right after morning coffee, I got it again. It happened again. And I had the same thing almost. And then I asked my colleague, did you eat the same butter as I did? And how do you feel at the moment? And she felt fine. So I reckon it must be some kind of bug, especially because today it's not stopped since 10 a.m. So it's just sort of coming in waves. But it makes me feel better. Indeed. A house would make me feel better, but it's a piece of work. I didn't know it was so much work to invest in a house, but this person is selling the house without a real estate agent, and that is making things a lot more difficult for me. Bananas can sometimes have spider eggs in. Stop it! No spider eggs in this one, okay? No spider eggs. I have also put up a new goal for the channel because we have reached the previous goal, which was 350 followers. So yay, you guys. I am being a little bit ambitious with this next one with the subscribers. I need to put in some work to actually be more online on stream. And I will say, oh, I have not logged into this character for so long, so this item was sent back to me from my warlock. I will try that again then. Here we go. We'll try that again. I have been considering, and I think this might happen, so just to warn you guys and prepare you guys, I might move back to YouTube. Twitch is being increasingly unkind and increasingly unkind to tiny streamers, tiny content creators like me. And I won't have it any longer. So I am just preparing myself mentally for the move. So pack your bags, guys. Be ready. I'll wrap up the emojis and the rewards from here, and I will bring them over to YouTube, where they've also set up a subscription system. And there's going to be super chat, which is basically like Twitch bits, but just a straight up donation, instead of going through the agent. And actually, like, the bad thing about bits is the fact that you only get a percentage of it as a creator, and the rest is eaten up by Twitch. Whereas super chat is much better in terms of that. So yeah, be ready. I shall clip this probably and put it up on social media. And having everything on YouTube, I think, is also gonna make it a little bit easier for me to get around to create more. I just need... Oh man, I have so much to tell you guys. How many hours do we have? Can't say you're not dedicated streaming with the poorly set up. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright. It is leveling time. I'm not really sure where I should start, actually, because Winds of Sanctuary is up. I am of half a mind to delete this character, guys, and make a new one at some point. But she's taking up space. And there's so much stuff here. God. I have so many characters. This character I want to level. And this character I want to level. She looks badass. And this character I want to level. And we were working on the warrior. You know what? I'm gonna progress with the warrior. And it is time walking week. So we can do, I think, well, even if we can't do some time walking dungeons, we can do some other dungeons. So let's just smush some dungeons. How did your brother's graduation day go? Did a surprise meeting him go as planned? Oh yeah, that's only some of what I wanted to tell you guys. This weekend has been so long, and I thought I was gonna get a break, but I'm not. I'm not getting a break. I really hope this upcoming weekend is gonna give me a break. So yes, it went well. The graduation day. He did well. It wasn't a graduation day as much as it was his final exam, his final thesis, and thus he never has to go to school again. There might be a party for them, but we celebrated him and his achievements in the garden with a barbecue and cake and ice cream. And then in summer is his birthday, and we're gonna have a big family party for him then, officially. So that's the plan. And I think he knew we were coming. I don't think, I know that he knew that we were gonna show up. So it wasn't as much of a surprise as it could have been, us showing up and greeting him. And he seemed pretty satisfied when he came out from his exam. And we had some sparkling wine and some chocolates, and then we went out for a brunch thing. And I had a croque madame, which is like a luxury morning sandwich, and it was magnificent, and it was all I ever wanted, with a strong cup of coffee. The others had nachos and beer. I just wanted coffee. I was really tired, so after that we went back to my brother's place, and I had a really nice nap. and then we had a drink outside. It was so hot. In Denmark, it's way too hot these days. We are having a bit of a drought. Actually, a lot of a drought. And this weekend, I'm pretty sure it was 30 degrees in my brother's garden, and the sun was merciless, just beating down on us. So that also made me pretty exhausted and pretty ill, because that's what happens in the sun with me. And then on Friday, I spent Friday working for a bit, for about 7 hours. I was prepared to get up at 7 like I usually do, but I was so tired I actually slept in a little bit and got up at 7:30. And then I went for a long run with my mom, got lost in a forest. Then we would have gone swimming at this campsite pool, but I went there and I looked at the pool and I looked at the surroundings and I said, no, thank you. And we just had a shower. And then I went to visit some other family, had dinner there. Then I went back and slept in a tiny cabin with my parents in a bunk bed. So that was interesting. And then the day after, I went to my friend's birthday for a massive cake spread and some board games. And then I finally drove all the way home in the evening. My eyes were just on fire on the way home because of all the UV exposure. And then when I finally sat down on the ferry, I had another nap and was really tired. And then on Sunday, can you keep pace? Am I going too fast? On Sunday, I went riding from early in the morning and came back at 12:30. And then I had all these chores to do, which is why I couldn't make it for stream. I had so much cleaning to do. I usually clean sort of in parts over the weekend. So I will take vacuuming one day and then kitchen and bathroom another day. But I had all of it and laundry and cleaning up and tidying up a room for my cousin who's coming to stay with me tomorrow. And I'm still not done cleaning the bathroom, and I haven't vacuumed in here either. So busy. I am out of breath just talking about it. 30 Celsius. That's hotter than the Devil's Underpants. I've never been in the Devil's Underpants, so I couldn't tell you, but I'm sure. Such a jam-packed weekend, it doesn't stop. Exactly. Oh, did I greet Step Undead? Hi, Step Undead. Welcome. How are you? I am tired. So that's why I thought it was nice to sit down right now for 2 hours for a bit of a reprieve. I brought a frozen pizza for dinner because initially I planned to just have oatmeal or rye bread, but then there was frozen pizza on sale and I grabbed one on the way home. So I'll have that, and then I have to go visit my grandmother afterwards, and then I will be back at maybe 8:30 in the evening, and I can finish the bathroom cleaning and I can finish vacuuming in here, and then tomorrow I work from home, so there'll be more time. Benji, hello, welcome. I'm good. Semi. I've got a bit of a stomach bug, so that's fun. But other than that, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so that was the weekend. Let me catch my breath a little bit, and I will keep going because there's more news. I'm gonna queue up for a dungeon. Yeah, I can't do any time walking on this carry. So should we go Cataclysm or Classic? Let's see how it goes with Cataclysm, and if there's no group that pops up, I'll just go for some Classic dungeons. I am queued for an activity. I know that. Alright, so Stranglethorn, I think. I mean, I can go do these, but it's so far. It's so far. Is there anywhere else I would like to go? Well, let's fly over here. I'm queuing up anyway. So, yes. House situation is the next thing I want to tell you guys about. Tomorrow morning, I have set up a meeting with a carpenter and a smith to have a look at some repairs at the house I'm looking at. They're not going to repair them, but they will give me an overview of the expenses that I will have to expect to pay if I start repairing these things, which I probably need to repair them within 12 months after buying the house. And it's going to give me an impression of how are we with expenses following the actual purchase of the house. And after that, after having that conversation with him, I'm going to return to the seller, the owner of the house, with my final bid. So that's very interesting. It's a good house, but there are some things that I have to take into consideration, and some things I really have to consider more because they're not using a real estate agent. There's more, I wouldn't say risks, but there is a chance that the owner of the house, the seller, will expect that more expenses will actually land on the buyer instead of the seller, and that's not fair, and we don't want that. So I'm being extra cautious. I also spoke with a solicitor today who can help me with the whole ordeal, which is also very good. So I'm making progress, but guys, I was probably being naive. But when I fell in love with this house, when I fell in love with the thought of buying a house, I did not expect all this work. I expected to have a bit of a bidding war, or not bidding war, but a bit of a negotiation with the owner on the price, and then I would say yes or no, and they would say yes or no, and we would go, well, we agree. And then we would sign, and then that would be it. But there's so much to do. There is so much to do, and I feel very young all of a sudden. I feel very young and very naive, and it's a challenge. Hi, cat. It's a challenge, but I'm taking it as a learning experience. Regardless of whether I buy this house or not, I will have learned my lesson for next time. Hopefully it won't be a only need to do two things, replace all the wood and replace all the brick situation. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I have received this sort of official report already, which states a couple of things that needs to be fixed. One of them is there's something up with the bathroom tiles, and I would like to see how much damage, how damaged is it actually? Is it a minor thing or is it a major thing? Love your new intro. Thank you, Alonso. I'm really glad you do. I thought a lot about it, and I had to make a decision to at least temporarily go with that new intro song, because having one that's muted is just not good for the view count of the VODs. And it's just not a good thing to have either, because it does come across as me having taken something and used it without permission, which was not the case. It was, I swear, it was free and available, and I was allowed to use it from the YouTube audio library. So yes, I would like to extend my search. Thank you very much. I guess there's... Oh, I was about to say, I guess there's not many who's doing dungeons on a Tuesday, but there is. Legion Dungeon. Okay, cool. Okay. And Fly appears. Fly has joined the party. Okay, let's see if I can actually do this whole warrior thing in a dungeon. That's quite different to leveling, I must admit. Which is why it's taken me a bit of a while to start doing dungeons, because I wanted to be comfortable with the class first. So that was my life since we last spoke. How has your life been? Is there any exciting news? Have you played some WoW? Have you played some Diablo maybe? Have you done any dungeons? Have you cleared the raid? We haven't cleared the raid yet, and I must admit it was probably good that you guys didn't see the raid on Sunday, because it was really painful. I think people were having such an off night. I don't know if they were all hungover or something, but it was terrible. We spent the first hour getting through the first phase of Sakhareth. And mind you, we've done this boss before, where we've gotten to phase 3, no problem. So that was something we got through, and we set up some good tactics for it, and we got through the second phase as well. That was less rough. All right. So right now we just basically have to perfect phase 3, and we should be good. We got him down to 12%, the lowest. You guys have too much sound, don't you? Gaming sound. Hang on. There we go. Letting it chill a little bit. Two of my chums got conned on a property. They put their savings into a stationary portable home. Is that isn't that opposite? That needed fixing up, which they did. Spent all weekend on it. Then the police turned up. Property was seized as evidence. The guy with their savings left for what? What? I don't think this person is going to leave for France after investing in the house, but never know. So you gotta be sure. You gotta be sure. I still had a vault to open yesterday. I hadn't opened it yet because of the weekend busyness. So I finally opened it and did a couple keys, and then I had to catch up on some sleep. Dumplings Kadoosh. Dumplings Kadoosh. Hi, welcome to the stream. How's your week so far? Oh, I'm always so scared of these elevators. I've killed myself so many times on these. And kittens are good. Kung Fu Panda reference, I'm thinking. I've watched the first Kung Fu Panda once in my life, and it was right after its release, so pardon me for being out of the loop, but who's a dumpling Kadoosh in the movie? I was a kid back then. I remember I really liked the tiger. I still really like the tiger. Who was the panda, the main character? That was 25 years ago. No, it wasn't! Was it? Was it? No, it wasn't 25 years ago. You're lying. Hi, kitties. I was just talking about you. You gonna come into frame? Yep, there he is. The big red boy. Lying down next to Jolteon. Hi. He fought the bad guy, which I have no clue which animal that was. The bad guy in the first movie was a snow leopard, no? Pretty sure. Yeah, that was definitely a snow leopard. 15, I think. Okay, that makes more sense. If it's 15 years ago, I was 14, so that makes more sense. Dumplings, Poe's favorite food. I don't blame him. Dumplings are delicious. Skadoosh, sorry, not kadoosh. Skadoosh, the ultimate move to make someone disappear. So dumplings skadoosh. Okay, and not dumplings kadoosh. I've had a dumpling. You are missing out. It is the best thing. I love dumplings in all shapes and forms. It is the best. Whenever I can, it doesn't matter if it's a ramen place or a sushi place. Anything that serves Asian food, if they have some kind of dumplings on the menu, I'm definitely gonna go for it. I think it's called the Wuxi Fingerhold. Can't believe I actually remember this. We remember weird things from movies, I think. Okay, I'm gonna focus a little bit on this guy because he's usually not too much fun. I remember when we were doing keys in Legion. That was the first time we did old dungeons like this, where they reused old dungeons for keys in Shadowlands, and they did Legion, and we thought that might be a teaser for something. And we had the Mage Tower too, which I also need to return to and get done. I'm kind of forgetting about that on occasion. Ice Hot Scott, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it. I love Asian food as long as it's in the West and not Asia. What do you mean? Been in Japan, tasted many things. I only like the beef buns. The beef buns are not Japanese though. I'm pretty sure they're Chinese. Where am I going? I also lived in Japan, and I think I loved almost everything except for natto. And they have a thing with raw eggs, which I'm not a fan of, where they will, in sukiyaki, for instance, which is Japanese barbecue, they will dip it in raw egg, and I just don't understand. The spices are too much. Where have you been in Japan? Because Japanese food, they don't use spices. That is one of the, I would say, signatures of Japanese food, is the fact that that they have a very clean flavor. So the flavorings they use are they basically come down to mirin, which is cooking, sake, soy sauce, and sugar. It's the strongest spice I can tolerate. Flour or salt? So salt is technically, I guess, maybe also kind of spice. I took a big bite of something green, never again. Oh, that's wasabi. It sounds like you took a bite of wasabi. And that's not, they don't use wasabi in everything, you know? Oh no, that is painful. That's not just spicy, that's actually painful. If you get just a little bit too much in your sushi, it will really hurt your nose. Trying to assassinate me. Yeah. Yeah, but if you don't know, the funny thing is actually, if you have fresh wasabi root, it's sweet. And there's nothing of that peppery spiciness to it. It's very interesting. So it's only once you grate it and let it sit for a while that it gets super spicy. Green looks tasty. It does, but I think in Japan especially, you should be careful about the green stuff you eat. They also have these legume-looking things with little. They almost look like a really long bell pepper, and they're kind of slimy, a little bit slimy. They are so bitter. They're only nice in very small portions. They're nice with tempura. Real wasabi is lethal. Everything is beautiful in Japan, even the toilets. You are right. You are right. I miss the toilet. And in the toilets in Japan, you also have a little button where you can play some birdsong and some running water sounds if you don't want people to hear you pee. It's very luxurious, but the thing is, you also have a contrast with some older bathrooms, some older toilets. You will have the squatting toilets, which are dirty and gross, as you would expect. So it's a major contrast. So many buttons. I didn't know toilets could have buttons. Pressed one. My bum blushed. Oh yes, there is that. It was yeah, I never got used to it. I never got used to it. And then when I went to Japan last time in April for my friend's wedding, I I was staying in this hotel also with a toilet with buttons, and I thought, should I go for this bidet just for nostalgia's sake? Just try it once before I leave Japan. It was not a nice experience. It was not a nice experience. I completely get you. I don't think it's ever gonna be my thing. I guess I understand the hygiene, but no, no. I will just go for the birdsong one on occasion and the heated seats in winter. They have heated seats in winter, which is also lovely. Also, hotels rooms were small, but aside from that, they were the best 2 weeks of my life. Where did you go? Were you in Tokyo or? The hotel rooms are pretty small. Everything, like all rooms in Japan, are pretty small. Also, apartments, small and expensive, but they're very clean. And somehow they managed to even fit bathtubs into the bathrooms. So I think they're very good at stacking things. So, oh, what happened? Few cities I recall: Tokyo, Osaka, and a few more. Hiroshima. Yeah, the what was it called? The dome. Wasn't called the Bango Dome. Well, the bomb museum. I know what you're talking about. Museum, and then the big building, which is sort of, it's actually reconstructed because it was destroyed in the explosion, but it sort of showcases No, it wasn't destroyed in the explosion, but it fell down afterwards. It fell down later. So it was rebuilt to look the same as after the bombing to showcase what had happened. But you went around then. You saw a few things. I must say it's very impressive, the Hiroshima Museum. On the top is like 2 feet by 2 feet and 4 feet deep. They're actually pretty deep. They're not big, admittedly. Gave me chills seeing it. The plate skeleton was left standing. Yep, exactly. I got the chills too. It's a very... like, the atmosphere is very heavy. Even if you weren't there. Even if you, funnily enough, weren't there when it happened. You have to... you can just... you can feel it. No, it's not radioactive. No. In Fukushima, though, there is areas that you should not go. Okay, we need to be careful of... yeah. It was a trip with the local karate group. It was mostly revolved around martial arts and related sites. That's pretty cool, though. And it's nice traveling in a group. Okay, we need to... and it's a massive fly in here. Can you please leave, sir? Here we go. Got some boots. That's very nice. And some helpful goods with the wrist. Yep, not mad about that. How was the site related to karate, though? Or martial arts? The inside barely forbidden to enter it anyway. You're right, actually. That's right. I forgot. The center point, right? Where you have to be a little bit careful. I remember there was this massive wall and you couldn't go to the center. Something about that. I also went to the deer park. That must have been in Nara then, right? It's a lot bigger than people say it is. It's the one with the bowing deer, right? Need to train the cats to catch the fly. They have actually, not this one in particular, necessarily, but they have actually caught their fair share of flies. Last night, I was very proud. Nox came in with a mouse for the first time. She caught her first mouse, and while I don't particularly like when my cats take the life of other animals, we have had so many mice in this house in the winter. All of us have had trouble sleeping, and there's been mouse poop everywhere in the cabinets. So it's just fantastic if the kittens will eat some of them. And she caught her first one last night. So I was very happy about that. That's one less mouse to keep me awake at night. Let me just queue up again. For classic dungeon this time. Not related. There was an event with the old sensei. It was Japanese. And there were 2 to 4 places related to martial arts, mostly dojos. That's pretty cool. I didn't see any of those well, I didn't go for them. Didn't think of going to see any dojos. Do you? I take it you do martial arts yourself. Training day with the local Japanese group and a dinner. That sounds really nice. Good on you. Spoop, stop playing them. Okay. Okay, Ricardo. I don't scooch around the cabinet of the trash can all night, making little noises. My dad does. Just came along because I like Japan. Have you been there before? Talk about Japan makes me miss the place, but I think I'm doing the right thing settling down here. I'm starting to sort of really get a network of friends, and look at how busy I've been for the past couple of days. Social stuff, and I'm already pretty booked in July. Which is amazing. I've never been this busy in my life before. I actually really wanted to slow down a little bit because it's becoming a bit too much. I need my quiet time. This is going to be my last quiet night for 2 weeks because my cousin is coming over to visit, and she's a quiet person, don't get me wrong, but it means I will probably feel a bit like a hostess for 2 weeks. Oh, Rich reminds me. Remind me in the break, in the stream, I need to go and grab some meat from the freezer for tomorrow's dinner. I plan on making a big pot roast with lots of onions and vegetables, and with rice and salad and my garden parsley. I also need to next month probably grab some more ingredients for pesto because my basil plant is exploding. I really need to relieve it of some leaves. It is getting out of hand. Thank you so much, Ice Hot Scott. Can I call you Scott? Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate that. Definitely not the last. First time, definitely not the last. Yeah. If you do go again, I recommend going to Kyushu, to Kagoshima and Sakurajima, and maybe even Ibuski. Ibuski is a tiny little place, but they are famous for their sand baths because of the amount of volcanic activity. The sand is very hot, and you drive through the streets and there's just steam rising from the cisterns, and it's quite the experience. Are you and your cousin close friends? Not really. Not really. She's very introverted, so she's been difficult to get along with. But I'm very close to her parents. Her father is my godfather, and her mom, my aunt, and I spent a lot of time together when I was a child, and when I was in high school, I was going through some things, and she was very good to talk to. She's probably the least conservative person in my family, and so there's been a lot of non-conservative things that I could discuss with her, sort of trying to escape from the great conservatism of my family. So I'm close with them, and they always helped me a lot. So when they asked if I could help out my cousin, I didn't hesitate. And I would like to be closer to her. Hopefully she'll open up a little bit now that she's gotten older. But there is 10 years between us, so I am the oldest child in the family, and then there's my brother, who's 3 years younger than I am, and then my cousin, who's then 10 years younger than I am. It took my mom's siblings and my dad's sibling quite a while to get kids of their own. I'd go to Japan for the Bunny Island. Won't believing it. I don't think I know where that Bunny Island is. I know that there's a cat island. And I've been to Enoshima, which is a train ride from Tokyo, which is quite fantastic. Almost got eaten by an eagle while it was there. The biggest debate is whether one should visit Japan during the Sakura or not. You can. Hey, who's calling? What's up? Did you catch anything? She might have caught... Hey! She might have caught something. Hang on. She caught a lizard. I'm saving him. Her. She's very fat. I think she might be having babies. So I'm just gonna go release her into the wild. I know! It's mine now. You can't have it. I'll be right back. Better tell these people. All right. It is saved. It is rescued. Here we go. Nox was not happy about that, but I'm not gonna let her eat a pregnant lizard. I think the lizard was very thankful. It was almost like she knew what I was doing. She was sitting very still. Must be full of tourists? Yes and no. So it depends on when you're going. If you go outside of the holidays, there won't be much people. But the thing is with the sakura, with the cherry blossoms, is you can't really... Okay. This way. Is you can't really know when they bloom. This year it was incredibly early. I went in April, and usually in April, the flowers will start to bloom. But it was very early, and many people do go in April and do go before what is called Golden Week. So there's a period in Japan. There's a big holiday called Golden Week in Japan, also during spring, which sometimes fall on Sakura season. You want to avoid that holiday season at all costs, because not only is it crowded everywhere because all Japanese people are traveling and seeing things in Japan, everything is overpriced, including hotels and trains. I would actually recommend you go in autumn and go to some of the places where leaf viewing is a thing, because forests in autumn are gorgeous. I'm telling you, the colors are fantastic. I actually prefer autumn, also because the weather is a lot nicer. In spring, you tend to have the rainy season, so it'll be gray most of the time, whereas in autumn, the temperatures will have lifted a little bit, but it'll still be really sunny and really nice. I was not expecting a lizard. I wasn't either. I thought it was a mouse, especially because of how fat it was. Give you a clue. Google... What? Let's see. If I ever visit Japan, I'll go to that gym. I'm an introvert myself. Do you know about any of her hobbies, interests? I'm also an introvert. The thing is though, she's been very closed, even with her family. I think she's gone through some stuff in her childhood. Well, she plays a lot of volleyball. The thing is with her, she's very difficult, or until this point, she's been difficult to have a conversation with, because you will ask her about how she's doing and her hobbies. But there is no sort of asking back. So at some point you run out of questions to ask. So how's school? Do you have a job? How are your friends? Is there any parties? How is volleyball going? Okay, good, fine. And then that's sort of it. So I hope we can have more real conversations. I think it has more tourists than locals. Were you meant to write autumn on? Or did you mean autumn? And my bags are full. Throw that away. And that away. And that away. And that away. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are all awesome. Favorite season is winter, though. Really? Do you get snow where you're from? I don't think you mentioned where you're from. I liked winter in Japan. Japan in winter is mild. Japan is also, at least where I stayed during university, was famous for its snow. So we had so much snow the first winter I was there, which was fantastic. I went skiing for the first time in my life. Got a severe sunburn, but it was worth it. But winter in Denmark is very dark. The sun is really not up for long. It will rise around 10, and then it'll set again around 3 or 4. So that's only 5 or 6 hours of sunlight. So it's very dark and very gloomy. It helps when there's snow because snow will light up the light up the landscape. Are we going out here? I will. But if it's just rainy and windy, it's not a lot of fun. Got a new keyboard, still getting used to it. Maybe you meant to write Autumn. I don't know. Instead it says the rabbit island in Japan is in Okunoshima. In Takehara. Takehara. I don't think I know where Takehara is. Then going abroad, I don't like winter. Rains everywhere. Where I'm at home, I like the rain. As an introvert, the less social experiences, the better. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What do you mean perfect? I died. Oh, I should have picked up these quests. I think that's too late now. That's gonna be a long run. Yeah, that's... That's one of the reasons why I was so tired this Sunday, was because of all that social activity. It wasn't so much, you know, hanging out and sitting in the sun and going for a run. The activities we were doing weren't that tedious, but all the social stuff. Am I going the right way? Oh, I'm going the right way. I think I am. So, the good thing is that my cousin is not coming here just to hang out for 2 weeks. She's actually going to work at a nearby restaurant. So she's going to work there in evenings, usually maybe a few morning shifts. And I work in the morning till the afternoon. So there will be a bit of maybe a high overlap. But other than that, she will be working a lot. So I will have my space and my quiet, and vice versa. And that's why I also cleaned out and sorted a room for her, so she can also withdraw to her own quiet space when she needs to. We were going this way, right? Yes. Going there, I'm not leaving. Oh, an advert. Yeah, there is adverts. I apologize. I apologize. It's I can't actually do anything. Was there an advert? Yeah, there is an advert. You can't even hear what I'm saying. I will tell you afterwards. What am I doing here? An essence thingamaboober. And I guess there's some loot I have to pick up. It's a shortcut at the opening of the dungeon. I should have read that before I started walking. So now we're just walking. Walking. So I'm almost there. Just the entrance to the left instead of right. Could be wrong. Okay, I will check it out next time. No, that was the wrong way. I just went down again, didn't I? You know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna leave. Hopefully it'll show up in my mailbox. If it doesn't, it's fine. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. No. No loot for me. We'll queue up again. Alright, so yes, what I was gonna say is that I can't help the ads, unfortunately. That's another thing with Twitch, is that they have kind of forced you to put in a lot of ads, and they're very long, and I can't really do anything. I could remove them, technically, but I can't remove all of them. As an affiliate, you have to have at least 2 minutes of ads during your stream. But subscribers won't have them. That's a good thing, at least. It's a long 4 minutes! There shouldn't be 4 minutes. It should be 3. Missed everything. You didn't miss much. I didn't say much. You missed the whole run, which was redundant because I couldn't find them. I couldn't find my way. Whoops. One of the 30-second adverts played twice. That's not supposed... Well, you can't guarantee that the same ads won't play. But it should not be longer than 3 minutes when I've set it to 3 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if Twitch went and did that. You was nearly eaten by an eagle. Yes. What I need to do now, before I tell you the story of being eaten by an eagle, I need to go and grab that piece of meat from the freezer and just probably get some more hot water in my tea. So I'll be right back. that break became a little bit longer because there was something underneath my chair, and I was wondering what it was. It was very flat. Clearly, I had rolled over it with my chair. It was a squashed bug, so I wanted to throw that one outside real quick before I continued. Eagle meat in the freezer? No. Back for eagle burgers. So I was at Enoshima Island with my friend, and we had been spending a couple of hours there. We had some lunch. We had some Enoshima whitebait, which is something that the island is known for. So if you ever go to Enoshima Island, you should get yourself some whitebait, which are these tiny little fishes. And you can get them raw, and you can get them boiled, and you can get them fried, and you can get them in tempura dough. You can get them in all ways imaginable. So we'd had that, and we'd gone for a walk, and we wanted to see there's this cave system in Enoshima where at the end of it there is a dragon statue, and we wanted to see that, but unfortunately there had been some floods in the caves. There's been so much water because of typhoon season, which is something you have to be careful of in late summer. And after going there, we went back and we spoke a little bit with a Japanese guy there who warned us about the eagles, because we saw these eagles flying about, and he warned us, and he said not to feed them anything because they would fly down and actually peck you if you weren't too careful, and people would actually throw food at them, which they would catch, which he demonstrated with a couple of biscuits, which was kind of interesting. He said, do not feed the birds. See, I can feed the birds. Anyway, he fed the birds, and we did not, but we knew not to. And we continued on and went back across this bridge that connects Enoshima with the bigger landmass. I want to say the mainland, but it's difficult to, because the water surrounds Japan, but the mainland. And on our way back, we decided to buy ice cream. They have these, they call them soft serves, which is basically soft ice, different flavors. You can get like black sesame and ramune, which is a Japanese soda-like lemonade. I think I had sweet potato. And we're walking back across this bridge. And then at some point, I think I instinctively duck my head down. I duck my head, or I bend over for something. And as I do, this eagle just swoops overhead. And because I was bending down, it didn't hit me. But it was clearly going for me and my ice cream. So I didn't actually get eaten by eagles, but almost. So that was an experience. Be careful of those eagles if you ever go to Enoshima Island. Oh yeah, this is always a good time. You don't have any sound. Here we go. It's also rather quiet. Where's the music? I walk away for a second and miss out on eagle burgers. I think they would taste fine. Probably not of much, in all honesty. I've seen seagulls get vicious over food, so I can imagine an eagle doing the same. I used to feed seagulls and cockatoos in Australia when I was a kid. Great experience. I'm gonna see, where's the music? Audio. Loop music? It is loop. Weird. I have this photo of me feeding cockatoos, and there's several photos, and you can just see with every photo more cockatoos gather. And then the last photo is of me with a cockatoo on my shoulder. So it flew up and it sat on my shoulder, and I fed it, I think, a piece of bread or a piece of ham or something, which it then flew away with. It was amazing. And I was, what was I, 7 or 8 years at the time? Seagull and stairs. You mean a pelican? Or an albatross? The pelican is the one with the pouch on its beak, and an albatross is basically a massive, massive seagull. You've seen a pelican eat a small animal. Yikes. That sounds really scary. I've seen them eat fish, but not animals. I didn't know they could do that. That's really scary. I don't know if I ever want to meet a pelican. I bet it could swallow my cats in one gulp. Horrible. Seen a pelican eat but not swallow a pigeon. Someone rescued it? That is vicious. I didn't know they were this terrifying. Pelicans. I thought they were calm and gentle creatures. Ow! Tank died. Should apply some of this stuff. Apply. Equip. Equip some of this stuff. What? Let me see. Where am I going? Where am I? I was distracted by the fact that Streamlabs just put dumplings in the naughty corner. It said 73 messages were deleted. You timed out for spamming caps. I don't know what you were spamming caps. I need to remove that moderation because it's done so several times. It has banned people for a couple of minutes for writing something in caps, which was just a single message or 3 letters or something. So I apologize. With a beak that big, why would they be gentle? Because it's a pouch. It's a pouch. It's not a murder instrument. Capital punishment. Pretty much. I don't know. I need to remove that as soon as this stream ends. And then I guess I should set up for YouTube actually for the next stream on Sunday. So I shall say this again. I will say it several times during the stream. I'm going to move back to YouTube because Twitch is being mean. Twitch is being mean. And I am by no means a big streamer. I'm not even a medium streamer. I'm not even a little streamer. I'm a micro streamer. And they are especially mean to micro content creators. So I will move back to YouTube and just have everything gathered there. And the thing about YouTube is that you have subs now. You even have whatchamacallit. Oh, what is it called? Host, I guess, where you bring your viewers over to a different streamer. You have that too, and you've got Super Chat, which is basically the donation feature of YouTube, which is much better than it is on Twitch. And I see things going downhill for Twitch and uphill for YouTube. Basically, it's a little bit slow progress with YouTube in terms of its streaming streaming advantages for content creators, but it's going in the right direction. And I actually have one of my favorite content creators. He usually streams on YouTube, so I'm going to follow his example. Micro. I thought you were tall. Tall? I'm not tall. What do you define as being tall? My Streamlabs. The code 2023 is indeed interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you were typing, Dumplings, but I apologize for the rudeness of Streamlabs. I think, do we need to take this wolf out, I think. Taller than me is tall. I'm only 5'7" unless I jump, then I'm 6. What am I in feet? I have no idea. I do know I am 166. I have no idea what that is in feet. But I'm by no means tall, which is fine. I don't mind. I can't reach things, but I don't know. You are 5.446194 feet. Tiny. Am I? I think I could be smaller. I feel like the tallest monster on the planet when I'm in Japan. Honestly, I get shocked every time I look at myself in the mirror in the bathrooms with Japanese women standing next to me. I am so horrified when I'm in Japan. But yeah, in Denmark, I think I'm pretty tiny actually. People are pretty tall in Scandinavia. I don't know, maybe it's the camera that makes me look tall. It's actually interesting because my family, except for my grandmother on my father's side and her siblings, my family is pretty tall. My brother, he's about twice as big as I am. Twice as tall, and then he's very, very broad shoulders. And my mom is pretty big. Pretty tall. My mom is pretty tall. She is 175-ish. My dad's the same. And then my grandfather was tall, and my uncle is very tall. Yeah. So I think I got the genes from my grandmother, basically. I've been to the Netherlands once. I'm 1.8 and I felt like a dwarf. Really? Because that's pretty darn tall. Oh, my damage is horrible. My damage is terrible. I think I've also forgotten about a couple of talents. Maybe I should look up on Wowhead what kind of talents I should pick, because my damage is terrible. Wow, it's even below the tank. I'm so sorry. This is... yeah, I've got a couple of talents to pick. Can Streamlab really tell if I use caps lock on a message that hasn't been sent out yet? What will you... It should only be able to penalize you if you've actually sent the message or attempted to. One of my chums is Dutch. 230 centimeters. What in the world? Is he a hockey player or a basketball player? That is insane. Oh, 37. We're getting somewhere pretty quickly. What am I doing? I am the worst warrior on the planet. Don't worry, I'll get used to this, I hope. I was excitedly typing with caps lock on, trying to RP the dude saving a pigeon from a pelican and got timed out midway. Why? What? That's so weird. I'm so sorry. Please tell me. Please try to imitate him again. I would have liked to know. That is really odd. I'm gonna have a look at the feature as soon as this stream ends, because that sounds, yeah, that sounds not right. Mr. 230 centimeter is a referee. Not sure if height is a repli. Well, I'm in for that. Well, it does mean that he can look over the heads of everybody and see where the ball is going. I don't know what he's a referee for, if it's football or... If you had a pet pigeon, how would you name it? Well, my, I have a tendency to call all uninvited guests on my property, be that cats or pigeons or bugs, or I tend to call them Knull, which is a very old Danish name and is really funny because that's actually the name of my grandfather, but it's not on purpose. But if I had a pet pigeon, I probably wouldn't name it Knull because it's technically allowed to be here. Depends on how the pigeon looks. I don't know. If it's a really pretty pigeon, pretty white pigeon, I might call it something like Grace. But if it's not a pretty pigeon, I might just call him Bob or something. It's a pigeon. They're quite goofy, so they're supposed to have a bit of a goofy name. Ow, ow. Some reason, all I have in mind is Robert. Robert is a good pigeon name. I can see why. This is a pretty long dungeon, isn't it? Robert makes sense. They bob their little head. That's true, actually. Bob is a... I didn't think of that. Called it Percival. Percival is a good name too, but that just makes me think of Percival Graves from Fantastic Beasts. Pooping basketballs. Yeah. My brother and his girlfriend loves pigeons. Because they're goofy and funny. They're adopting a dog in August, and I'm really excited for them. A golden retriever. I must say, if I were to ever have a dog, I'd have a golden retriever. They are the best things. The only thing with dogs is the fact that they don't actually live as long as cats. So I would have to say goodbye. I think we said goodbye to Simba, our family dog, when he was 10. So, and that was pretty painful. It was really painful. I have a Chihuahua. What's the name of your Chihuahua? I like the fact that you're super tall and you've got a Chihuahua. That's perfect. I wish I could make a walk and actually like them, because I like the race a lot. Look at these Worgens, but I've made a Worgen several times and I just can't seem to find a class I think that fits them, because I would just like to be a werewolf and, you know, slice them with my claws. I don't want to use weapons. I wish they had something like that. Orchid. Oh, that's a cute name. It's actually a really cute name. I'd be tempted to call the dog something mundane like Stanuel. Can't come out tonight, me and Stanuel have plans. I have never heard that name before. That's really funny. There was someone at work today who told a really bad joke. She said that she knew someone who wanted a dog, and to call that dog Shadow. So every time he would be calling for it, people would wonder why he was calling his shadow. Gotta have the muscles in a small bag with Chihuahua inside. If I would have chosen to name the dog, be a walking warrior, transmog the weapons to be those little hand fist weapons you can barely see, so it looks like you're using claws. That could be pretty cool, actually. That would be nice. I made, I think, an outlaw. No, wait. There's nothing called an outlaw warrior. I had an outlaw rogue at some point on a Worgen, but that wasn't for me. Maybe I should make like an arms warrior or something. Fury. It'd have to be a fury warrior, right, to dual wield. Like a bone crusher for a small dog and butterfly or snowball for a big dog. I never see it coming. Yeah, like Fluffy in Harry Potter, right? Isn't his name Fluffy? Or Norbert, the dragon. I've been wanting to reread and rewatch the Harry Potter series. I don't know why they think it's a good idea to remake a series that's already great. They tend to do that. They've done the same thing with, kind of the same thing with Lord of the Rings, but then not really, which is good, I think. Because those movies are perfect, and they cannot be touched in my mind. Here we go. Another level up. Haunting Blade. Fly, please. Can you, I don't know, go sit down in my plant or something. Okay, thanks guys. I need to do something about these talents. Now affects your next 4 single target melee attacks instead of the next 2. Generates 3 rage. Strike up to 4 additional targets. Execute increases the critical strike chance of execute. Vicious Contempt, Bloodthirst, deals 25 increased damage to enemies who are below 35% health. While dual wielding a pair of one-handed weapons, your damage done is increased by 5% your movement speed. But I want to dual wield two-handed weapons. So, rage regeneration lasts 3 seconds longer and instantly heals for 15% of your maximum health. See, that would be useful. And that would be useful. Let's go. No, hang on. I would like to get Rampage, actually, because that's a good one. Then we have over here, cooldown of Raging Blow and Pommels reduced. Armor increased. Sure. Increased damage of Slam and Whirlwind. Cooldown of Pommel. Do I have to pick one of these? No, I don't have to. It hits them 1 additional time. Yeah, let's go with that. Philosopher's Stone gives me nostalgic vibes. It does. It does. And Chamber of Secrets too. That's my childhood movies. I don't know if I was too young to watch those, to be completely honest with you. they were, yeah. So I don't use these attacks as much as I should. I'll leave them there for now. All right, all set. Leave group. Makes me want to go back to my childhood. I feel that way every time I play Classic WoW. I just want to be a child again. I just want to be a child and feel those feelings I had then. Wait, is this? Yeah, we can. Now I need to get used to my new keybinds again. That's the problem of learning new spells. The Potter films left a lot of the books on the trimming room floor, a TV series would remedy that. That's true. That's true. There were a lot of scenes in the books that I would love to see on film. All of Fred and George's shenanigans, for instance. That whole sequence. I don't remember which book it is. Is it book 8? Where they cause so much mayhem in the school. They've basically graduated, so it won't really harm them. So they've graduated and they want to leave with a blast. And they cause so much mayhem. There's also a section of the book where they talk about how they turned an entire floor into a swamp. And it just shows you how powerful the twins actually are at magic, that they can turn a whole section of the school into a swamp. You can take the 4 whirlwind passives and get a permanent AoE style through single target abilities. 5 if you wander the last mastery at the bottom left. Critical thinking? Should I give the books a shot? Sounds interesting. The books were great. I really liked the books. So, easy read. The audiobooks are more fun. I haven't ever actually read a single audiobook. Do you read an audiobook or do you listen to an audiobook? I haven't done either. I just read with my eyes normally, not with my ears. But yeah, they are easy to read. Characters have much more depth, especially someone like Ron is a lot more enjoyable in the books than he is in the movies. Although I think it was a really good casting. I think Ron is actually kind of my favorite character. He's fantastic. No, maybe not Ron. Fred and George are my favorite characters, and then Ron. You listen to it, but it counts as a book read. Okay. I'll go with that then. Hang on. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm just gonna finish. Here we go. Recommend downloading the books. No, Ricardo, don't encourage that. Oi. Oh, yeah. Red hair, possibly hand-me-down clothes. Must be easy. I'm not wearing hand-me-down clothes. Who would I get it from? I'm the oldest sibling the oldest child in the family. I am the one that hands closed down to my cousins. No, actually, I really do need some new clothes. I need some summer clothes. I need a couple of dresses. I have no dresses. I'm not much of a dress person. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't like wearing dresses, but I do see the practicality and the benefit, especially in summers that are this hot as we have currently. So I need to invest in some summer dresses. I went and I bought some really nice summer shoes the other day, kind of spontaneously. I realized that I was going to... Ow. Oh, did someone leave? The healer just left. Okay then. I realized one day before leaving for my brother's final exam party thing that I didn't actually have any nice shoes to wear, and it was so hot, so I couldn't wear my sneakers that I usually wear. And I went to the shop, and there was some really nice looking shoes. I always end up going for the new arrivals. It's so annoying. I don't do it on purpose, I swear. So I found those, and they were new arrivals, and probably the most expensive shoes they had. And I tell the shopkeeper they are really nice, but I can't afford them. Maybe next month. I'll take a pair of slippers instead. And then I biked home. And I realized immediately the second I arrived home that I kind of regretted my decision, that I didn't go to the store to get a couple of slippers. I went there. Darn it. Dying again. I went there to get a pair of really nice shoes. Not slippers. So I biked all the way back again, and I returned them and got the expensive ones. It's just you're not gonna save anything in the long run anyway, because you'll end up with a pair of slippers and a pair of nice shoes instead of just the pair of nice shoes. Should watch Young Sherlock Holmes, 80s film. Director is the guy who directed first two Potter films. It's amazingly the same as those, but without the magic spells. The main characters look identical. Really? What? Who plays young Sherlock Holmes then? Regrets his remorse. As bad as his remorse. Wow. People are being really unkind in chat at the moment. It's a really good thing you guys can't see it, because there's some rudeness being thrown around, and I feel like it's a tendency in this dungeon, actually. There is a very old stream. I don't know if the VOD's up on YouTube, but there's a very old stream from when I was streaming on YouTube where I went into this dungeon and I was tanking. People were so rude. People were just so mean and in such a bad mood. And it's the same in this case. People are not very nice. Don't know what it is with this dungeon. All right. I'm actually looking forward to that frozen pizza now. Not that I'm gonna eat it frozen, but I've got all this fantastic basil in my garden, and I have some tomatoes. Not my own tomatoes yet. I've had to rescue a tomato. I don't know what happened to it. So I bought two tomato plants that have grown pretty big. And one of them had just started to get its first little tiny tomatoes. And then I went out one morning and I was wondering why the top half of it was drooping, like really sadly, as though I hadn't watered it. And I went to have a closer look and I realized that something had gnawed on the middle section of the main stem. So they gnawed on it and then it had dried. And so basically there was no moisture and no energy that was being transferred to the top half of the plant. So I was very sad about that, and I took some photos and I sent it to my friend who is as enthusiastic about plants as I am. And she said, well, if you cut it off, the top section, and you put it in soil, it will turn into a new tomato plant. And I told her, I don't believe you, but I'm going to try it anyway. I still don't believe her, but I'm attempting. So I put that in a free spot of soil. And then I cut off the dry part and inspected it. And I found a little black thing and like a web inside. I have no idea what it is, because tomato plants, the stems and the leaves, are known to be quite poisonous. They're not good for eating for animals or for humans. And you should always wash your hands after handling tomato leaves. So I think it must have been a mistake from said animal. So I cut off the dry part, and then the lower half of the tomato plant is thriving, is not really having any issues. So hopefully I'll soon have some tomatoes. Droopy tomatoes, should see a doctor, definitely. Hi, are you tired? I don't know if you heard her. I hope you didn't eat the lizard. Yeah? Yeah. Sherlock is played by a Tolran. Watson is played by a Potter. And they have a girl companion who's Hermione from the book. Natty here and Big Teeth. There's also a Hagrid Dumbledore combined character. Is this movie before or after the Harry Potter movies? Have you tried Diablo 4? Are you not into the game? I have not tried it. And the main reason is because it's expensive. And I'm very poor this upcoming couple of months. Also, it's a very dark game, which is a little bit difficult where I live at the moment because of the summer, and then I've got basically transparent curtains. I used to play Diablo 2 Resurrected when I was younger. It was the first Blizzard game I got into, and I used to play with my brother. And I think we were 9 or 10. I have no idea how we were allowed to play those games, but we were. My brother was even younger. So I know the game, and I actually really wanted to check it out, but I'm already so busy with WoW as well, so I'm just gonna stick to this, and then maybe someday Diablo 4 will be on sale and I can buy it and I can play it by my lonesome because everybody else has moved on. I also never really made it that far in Diablo when I was younger. I leveled. I think I got my sorcerers to max level, but I didn't do any in-game content. Do you want to come up? Do you want to come say hi? Yeah. Come on. Yeah. There you go. Cat has joined the stream. My microphone is suffering for it. Excuse me if I sound a little bit weird the upcoming minutes. And you're not going to leave me alone, are you? You're not just going to sit down quietly. No, you're going to step all over my lap. Can we? You're making things very difficult. Wait. I trimmed your nails last night because they were very pointy. Are you happy? You're purring up a storm. And you're drooling. Shall I just move this out of the way, maybe? I'm trying to play the game. I'm trying to play the game and stream, you know? Can we move a little bit here? I never understood how and why cats purr. Why they purr, because they're happy. I don't know how. She's very happy. Yeah. You're mushing up my microphone. The baby blackbird got to the strawberries, pecked a hole in one of the big ones, didn't even eat them, just shredded. No. They do that. They really do that. We used to have. No, 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 no. We used to have. We used to have strawberries too in our garden in our former house, and they almost always got eaten by blackbirds before they were ripe enough for us to eat them. You're drooling all over the place, you know that. There is cat drool on my pop filter. I don't know why it is that she drools. It's kind of unsanitary, you know. It's kind of unsanitary. Said in a boarding school, I think J.K. Rowling took inspiration. Oh, you think so? Interesting. Ow. Ow. Cat. We're doing a boss now. Cat, please. You need a bib. Yes. You need a little oh, just there's so much drool. You need one of those little things you put on the children's chins to save all the food that they spill. Do you want to sit there? It's a nice place to sit. Yeah. Cat, thank you. She is very, very cute. She's very affectionate, actually. She's had this. I don't know if it would have benefited her if she was taken away later, because she's got this tendency to drool, and then she also there's a certain type of fabric that she will suck on and drool on, as though she's feeding. So I think her, and then she's got a sister who does the same. Yay, level 40. She's got a sister that does the same. So I think they might have been taken a little bit early, but it was also time. It wasn't technically too early. But I think maybe they would have benefited from 1 more week, 2 more weeks, maybe. Does she leave hair behind? Yes. Yes. She used to not really a lot, but now she does. She and her brother have started to shred quite a bit, so I'm practicing brushing them, and they are growing to like it, it seems. All right. I have not collected this. I shall equip it and learn it, and that one I have. Goodio. You know what I need to do? I need to leave. No, I need to turn in these quests, and then I need to leave. My chihuahua is a hairy chihuahua. Yes, they exist. She leaves hair everywhere. Hey, what is it? Splat, are you hungry? It is dinner time, technically. Yeah, there's a lot of hairs. I vacuumed the day before yesterday thoroughly on the couch. Bumle, the big red one, lay there today. There's hair everywhere. I might as well just do it again. It is constant work, and I've got 3 cats. My poor vacuum cleaner. My poor socks and sheets. No, I'm not gonna go to astronaut. God darn it. It wants me to go to astronaut. I haven't set my hearthstone for Stormwind. I'm an idiot. Don't like bees. They spook me. Don't mind coming across a wild bear, but bees, I'll run away faster than a Usain Bolt on 20 energy drinks. I'm fine with bees. Wasps, no thank you. I once told you guys about this experience I had on the balcony of my previous apartment, where I was sitting there, it was summer, and I had some lavenders on the balcony with me. Very suddenly, a bee comes flying by and sits down on my arm, like around here. Just sits down. And I freeze initially. Then I study it and I conclude it is indeed a bee and not a wasp. Because it's a little hairy guy. It's very cute. He looks very soft. And I wonder why he's not moving. He's just sitting there chilling. And internally, I yell at him to please leave because he's freaking me out. And I know that it will hurt me if he stings me, but it will kill him. And I don't want him to kill himself. He's a bee. He pollinates. He makes honey, and I like honey. And they're cute. Cute little fuzzy bees. And I just scream at him internally to move. He doesn't. He starts bathing. He starts washing his little legs and his little wings and his little antlers. And he's having a great old time. And after sitting there for a while, shaking, I get up and I walk to the lavenders with my arm like this. Little guy, you sure you don't want to sit on the lavenders instead of my arm? He doesn't initially want to move anywhere. He is perfectly comfortable on my arm. But in the end, I get him coaxed over to the lavenders and I sigh in relief because we both survived that encounter. So I'm good with bees. Bees are very cute, and especially big bumblebees are adorable. I've saved several from our stable. I have no idea how they get in, but they certainly do not know how to get out. I don't want to come across a wild bear, though. My brother has. It was far away. They weren't in any immediate danger, but still. I had a bunny who liked to lick silk. It was weird. It's weird. It's a certain fabric. Nox's sister also likes the same type of fabric that Nox likes. It's really odd. It's really odd. Am I riding faster? No, it's just because the city is small, I guess. I should go and sell some stuff and then auction some stuff. Soulbound. Soulbound. These are to level 44, so they're still good. Selling that. Globe of water, maybe. Clam mushrooms. We have an army of those glue sticks, and I'll use to pull the hair from our clothes. I should get one of those rollers as well, and then a bunch of extra rollers. Nobody wants stone. And then we have some of these to turn into life root. Bee rescuer, eagle eater. I didn't eat the eagle, he tried to eat me. Bumblebee. You don't know what a bumblebee is. Like the big, massive, fat ones that go and they knock into everything. And they're really dumb, but they're really cute. Honeybees. No, they're not called honeybees. They're bumblebees. The ones that look like the big bumblebees from Storm Song in WoW. I have an air support military bumblebee. What? What? Alright, I'm pretty sure we can sell all these old reagents. They usually sell pretty well. Not that one. That's stems and leaves. What's that good? At first and pay the bills. I'm sorry, I should have postponed that one. I will keep we'll keep a closer eye on it next time. They are pretty annoying for followers. Whenever I go out, like I'm a living target. That big fairy, that big fat hairy bumblebee isn't welcome here. You're so mean! He pollinates your flowers. You know, you wouldn't have any flowers or any fruits or anything in your garden if he wasn't welcome. That's so mean. Poor little bumblebee. He doesn't feel welcome. He's just going about his business, trying not to knock into things. He's doing his best. Granted, his best is not great, but still. Oh, silver was selling for a lot. One more of these. Here we go, and then I sell the rest. I should really get some bigger bags, but if I don't know how long this ult is going to technically survive, so I don't know if she's just currently here for my entertainment of leveling and then she'll get deleted. I don't know. Ooh, yay, I recovered some items. What do we got? We have got some gloves. More crit, more versa, less haste. No, I think I want more haste. Attack speed as a Fury Warrior. And another set that are less good, so be gone. Alrighty. I'm technically at the end of the stream, but let me see. I'm level 40. I need some gold to buy myself some flying. So I'm gonna go to my bank gold. My mage sitting here guarding some of my treasures, and she's gonna fund my warriors flying. Alright, I can say here. If anybody, it's not. Oh, you guys are. No, you're not watching ads anymore. Just here at towards the end of the stream, I should inform those of you who did not hear it yet. You might have all heard it, but if you didn't, I am probably going to move to YouTube going forward. So the next stream on Sunday, which I plan on happening, is going to take place on YouTube and. Going to YouTube. I'm going back to YouTube because I'm tired of Twitch's shenanigans. It is it's no longer funny what they do over here. I really would have liked to stay because there's so many other fun activities over here. There is Twitch drops, which are really nice for you guys. There is Warcraft streams where creators do little games and stuff, but I'm just nowhere near big or famous or well known enough to join those competitions and games anytime soon. So I'm gonna move over to YouTube and settle down there. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. If you don't already follow me on YouTube, you might not. How is it I do this? You can find me here. These days, it is mostly stream VODs I put up there, but I have a lot of ideas for videos and I just need the time to actually sit down and make them. So there are some in the pipeline. I really want to get back into it, so it is constantly in my thoughts. Almost constantly in my thoughts that I would like to go back. All right, I need to go and get myself some dinner, to get that pizza in the oven and get something to eat before family visit, and I need to clean the bathroom. I'm gonna be back on Sunday. Keep an eye on YouTube. I'm gonna stream there at 2 p.m. EU realm time until 4 p.m. unless I have to reschedule. I occasionally have to do that, but you will know when, if that happens. I will announce it on Discord and on Twitter. If you do not know those, they are here. That's all the information. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a really great time. I forgot my stomach ache, so remedied. You guys have a great evening. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.